Edward, I'm so sorry I won't be able to be with you forever, 'cause I'm mortal and you're not. But I think I can make you a female companion, like Frankenstein. So, Edward, I am Elena Scissorhands. Before we begin today's review, I just wanted to pay tribute to James L. Jones, who sadly died yesterday, age 93. He was the perfect Mufasa and Darth Vader, and is with the great kings of the past now. So whenever you feel alone, just remember, those kings will always be there to guide you, and so will I. Edward Scissorhands, directed by Tim Burton, and is the 1990 fantasy cult classic. So Edward Scissorhands tells the story of Edward, a creation of a inventor who passed away before he could fit real human hands onto Edward, so Edward is left with scissors for hands, and he is found and taken in by the loving Peggy, who lets him stay at her home with her family, and during his time there, he falls in love with her daughter Kim, played by Winona Ryder, who's also Lydia in another Tim Burton franchise, Beetlejuice, though the town does not take a liking to Edward, especially Kim's dick boyfriend, who has a rivalry with Edward. So it's literally a romantic tragedy of a love story that could never last. And now I am specifically talking about Edward Scissorhands before I review the recent Tim Burton sequel, which is out in cinemas now, Beetlejuice Beetlejuice. Can't believe it took Tim Burton 36 years to make a sequel to the original, but as for Edward Scissorhands, without any build-up, this is truly my favourite Tim Burton movie. My mum so generously brought me the DVD 10 years ago, and when I put it on, I was mesmerised by the sheer brilliance that is this classic. I mean, and this is one of not only Tim Burton's best, it's one of the absolute best 20th Century Fox movies, and may very well be my favourite movie of 1990. It's, as I mean, this is truly Tim Burton's peak. It's the perfect Tim Burton combo and a flair of his weird and but bonkers style mixed with some real emotion and heartache. Like this has it all. You are everything you are looking for in a Tim Burton work of art is in Edward Scissorhands. I don't think he's ever gonna outdo this. This is also one of Johnny Depp's finest hours, and Johnny Depp would be a Tim Burton regular, like Jenna Ortega is becoming a Tim Burton regular, and this is the finest performance Johnny Depp has ever given in a Tim Burton film. He is excellent throughout, so playing, well, not a human exactly, but like Frankenstein's monster, just a creature that longs to be human and to fit in. But of course, this cruel world misjudges him and mistreats him, with the exception of some people. Johnny he doesn't get all the dialogue in the world in this role, but he's able to convey so much through his expressive eyes. And Edward doesn't have much of an expression, but you can can tell exactly what he's thinking each time. It's superb show don't tell acting, and the fact that Johnny's costume for Edward Scissorhand is exquisite. And I mean, Johnny, I mean, he's got the patience of a saint to put up with scissors for fingers. I mean, and to do his best to with scissors for fingers. Well, how can you possibly eat or pick up glasses of water, or even pay with money without damaging whatever you touch? And yeah, and you do have a sense of sympathy for Edward, as he never got to properly know his creator, as his creator was making him human. He sadly passed away before he could, and Vincent Price as the inventor, he's just in it briefly in the flashback of Edward's creation, but he is still he's still utterly charming. And I think this was one of Vincent Price's final movie roles, and also Peg, the kindly lady, and Kim's mum, who finds Edward in the inventor's home. And the inventor's home, by the way, it looks exactly like Wednesday Addams's boarding school in the show Wednesday, and it's is my absolute favourite of the creepy old buildings that we see in a classic creepy-esque Tim Burton movie. And she is one of the more lovable parts of the movie as Peg. She takes him in when he has no one else, and does attempt to give him a normal human life. She's happy to take any old stranger in as family. There's no limit to her kindness, and you do also feel extremely sorry for her, because when she's going around town, the town do seem to turn her down and ignore her, so she doesn't do so well. And so that's how she and Edward are alike. That's they are the good people that the town deserves. The shame the neighbourhoods that they live in is full of highly judgmental souls. But my personal favourite character in the movie would probably be Kim, Edward's girlfriend, played by Winona Ryder, who is also a Tim Burton regular. As awesome as she is as Lydia in the Beetlejuice movies, this is Winona Ryder's greatest role in a Tim Burton project. As their love, to best describe their love story, this is Tim Burton's Beauty and the Beast, where she is like the elegant princess who falls in love with a guy who may not look physically attractive on the outside, but on the inside he is warm as anything. And she is initially freaked out by him, and when she first comes into her room and she's looking at herself in the mirror, and he is admiring her, but she just jumps out of fear the first sight of him, and she's like, "Mum, why did you let him in my room?" But the more time she gets to know him, the more she does fall for him, and she realizes she's gonna be happier with him than with her arsehole boyfriend. I mean, her boyfriend, he's the bully of the town, and he's the Gaston of Tim Burton, and he turns out to be pretty abusive and frames Edward for a crime he did not commit, so just to turn the town against Edward. When Edward stabs the bastard with one of his scissors, you're like, thank you, Edward. You are 10 times the man that fucker is. And also, Kim's brother doesn't get as much to do as Kim, but he does get to bring Edward to show and tell to his class at school. And it is fun seeing Edward attempt to find work in the town by becoming a hairdresser, even if one of Peg's friends does attempt to seduce Edward by removing her clothing in front of him. And the look of Edward's scissor hand is simply beautiful, and when Edward is crafting sculptures out of hedges, and when he's sculpting models out of ice right in front of Julia. I mean, yeah, him sculpting the ice may be the most beautiful moment in the movie. You are just in awe at Edward's gift. I mean, scissors for hands may prevent him from being normal, but who cares? Look at what talent he's got. But when he accidentally cuts Julia with one of his scissors, yeah, that was bloody heart-wrenching, because Edward was like, "Holy shit, Julie, I never meant to hurt you." So that's why Julia and Edward, though they do confess their love for one another, they do part ways, as she is mortal and one day will grow old, but he's immortal and will never die. And so Julie lies to the town that Edward is dead by showing one of Edward's hands, so that the town who are rallying against him will leave him to just live in the inventor's older home in peace. And the movie ends on a bittersweet note, so with an elderly Kim telling this story to her granddaughter and how Edward is still there, but she can never go back and visit him because Edward wouldn't recognise her now. You just wish, oh, if only Julia and Edward could be together forever and start a family, even if that would never be physically possible, going to show that life isn't fair. And the movie's rated PG, though it does have mild violence. It's still got something whimsical about it. So this isn't a ideal family viewing, especially at Christmas, with the snow giving it a Christmassy feel. In fact, when it snows down on the town, it's as if the town is in an enormous snow globe. And Jenna Ortega was recently asked in an interview would she ever play a female version of Edward Scissorhands, which she respectfully declined, as saying, no, we should let women have their own franchises. We don't need to gender swap male characters to do that. Oh, and the soundtrack, so gorgeous. So overall, Edward Scissorhands is a real testament to what Tim Burton can achieve when he is in his elements. Tim Burton movies tend to be a double-edged sword for me, but Edward Scissorhand is, will always be my number one.
I give Edward Scissorhands 5 stars out of 5. Best Tim Burton movie ever.
So yeah, Wednesday season 2 had a bit better be good. It doesn't look like Tim Burton is going to make anything bad for yet a while. Well, I love you guys. Thank you for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this review. What are your thoughts on Edward Scissorhands? Is it your favourite Tim Burton movie like it is mine? Please comment and let me know. Please like this video and subscribe. Please follow on Twitter and on Instagram. I'll see you all next time when I review Beetlejuice before the upcoming Beetlejuice review. And remember, movies are us. Bye, guys.